Welcome everyone to the first ever episode of Mercor's Success Spotlight, the series that is going to shine a light on the remarkable individuals who have achieved extraordinary success in their work. I am your host, Shomi Day, and I'm thrilled to embark on this journey of inspiration, discovery, and motivation for all those who are listening. We understand that your whole journey of making it big might sound very scary at first, but that said, we think that listening to the real individuals who did it just might be the perfect thing to fill in the blanks. Today, we have with us our engineer of the week, Srikanta Banerjee, who I know as an exceptional engineer and my fellow colleague. But for people who do not know you, Srikanto, would you please like to introduce yourself?
Uh, yeah, hi, thanks, Swami, for the intro. So my name is Srikant. I am originally from West Bengal in India. Right now, I'm working at Mercor. I joined Mercor around 1 month back. So for the first 2 weeks, I was working on the main Mercor dashboard, majorly on the front end side of things. And then after that, I actually got a full-time role at cofactory.ai, and I've been working there for the past 2 weeks. And there are a lot of projects which are happening out there, and it feels really exciting.
Oh, so that is amazing. So, talking about Mercor, talk us through your journey a little bit. What are the projects that you worked on? Dive a little deep. Tell us how you went about them.
Right. So I joined Mercor, there were two roles in the Mercor dashboard. So first was the front end, and the second was the back end. So I'm generally full stack engineer, so I'm comfortable with both the things, but I choose to go with the backend role because that's where I find more comfort, I'm more comfortable with. So I submitted the backend project, then I had my first interview with Surya, and then after that with others, who I think is the CTO of Marco. Then after that, I got like a 2 week trial period to work directly with the Mercor core team. So initially, I started working on the main dashboard. So the one which you are currently seeing right now live, where you are going and applying for the jobs and all. The main front end or the basic layout for that was built by me. Uh, so the tech stack we used was Next.js and the T3 stack. So for the front end, we were basically using the Tailwind UI and Next.js for the front end. We generally had a lot of issues with how we should manage the server-side rendering, the loading, and then for the backend as well, we had to also build the AI interviewer platform. That was a very challenging task to do. But I think the people who are working currently at Markup, they are like very great. Uh, so Hers, I know he is a very good engineer as well, and as well as Bhushan and other guy. Aritra, these guys are like very talented. So it was a very good experience working with them. I learned a lot and I gained insights about a lot of things about what how you can use or leverage GPT-3 to build products which can be used in daily life. After that, I started working with cofactory.ai. There, I think Ben and Silas are the main co-founders. Both of them, I think, are from Stanford and MIT. So they both of them are both those guys are very talented. I said so. They are currently doing going through the startup phase. I am currently working on a project called Anyone Direct, which basically allows people to book meetings with people who are working as in the AI field or in the doing a PhD in artificial intelligence in these specific institutions. So let's say if someone is starting a startup and they need to gain insights about a specific field and they want to book a 1 hour meeting with someone who is an expert. That is the main concept of the project which I'm working currently on right now. So the main core functionality of that is almost finished in these 2 weeks, and we'll be launching very soon.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, having heard your stories, I see that it's all very fast paced and everything is happening really fast for you. So, what do you think are the really core things that people need to know about, that who are looking for jobs at startups, they need to know before they join the startup?
Uh, right. So, like, for the first thing is like working at a startup is very different from working at a very large corporation. The main thing which you need to hire is to take ownership of things. And the second thing, like which I observe in all the people who I feel are good engineers, is they are not intimidated by something which they have not done before. So in startups, generally you get to face challenges or you have to build things which you have never built before, and you should not be afraid about it. So that is the first main advice or quality I'd suggest you to have. Uh, and eventually, you gain the skill to figure out things on the fly. That's very very important. Apart from that, of course, you're not going to have the stability of like working at a big corporation, but the your learning rate will be very very high. So as compared to like people who are working at service based companies, the things that they learn in like 5 years, you're going to go through that in within 3 or 4 months. You'd be more knowledgeable than those guys, because you are working a lot. Like the more work you do, the more proficient you become in a tech stack, and then you yourself are going to feel confident. Then you can crack any job or any at any place. So that's like very highly valuable thing to have, I guess.
Yeah, so being multifaceted, having the confidence to get things done no matter what, should be the quality that you're talking about. Right, that makes sense. So before you joined Mercor, what were the common misconceptions or myths that you think that you had or you think people have before joining a startup?
So Mercor, for the first impression, I felt it is something similar to Turing or the other platforms like these. So I was actually looking for a remote kind of role. So that is when I came across Mercor, and I applied. So generally, I didn't have any misconceptions or anything like that. But a lot of people have a lot of doubts about things like how will the payments work, or if they are working for a startup which is outside of India, like how are the main how the process is going to work out. Like there are some people have doubts about like whether they get holidays according to India's calendar or their calendar. Then how the taxes are going to work. So these things, like I generally have done a lot of research about things, but I'm generally okay with everything. So I'm trying out new things. So, but of course, like some people have some their issues with it.
Yeah, so overall, it has been a great experience, I hope.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that is great. So, before we conclude this session, do you have a final word of advice for any engineers who are out there who are thinking about getting something done but are struggling with it or do not really understand how to go about the process? So, do you have any pointers for the processes to get to this?
Um, the first thing like I suggest them to do is to build their proof of work. So even if you are hiring a carpenter, you want to see like what things he have built in the past. So that is how it similarly works in the field of software engineering as well. So generally, if you build projects, that is going to show proof to people that you can actually deliver or build the kind of things which are actually required in production. So the projects which you are going to build is going to help you get hired very fast, because the employers can see it's very hard to judge someone in just a 30-minute interview, uh, like based on their conversation. Like you might ask a question and that guy might not be aware about the topic, but if you have built something which you can show to people, that would be great. So work on your projects is the advice I like suggest people to do instead of like worrying about things.
Okay, that is great. That makes a lot of sense. So that brings us to the final segment of our little conversation here. Congratulations to you, Srikant, again for all your hard work and your achievements. I will see you everyone next week. Till then, keep a lookout for announcements on our socials that I will link down below. Until then, goodbye.
Yeah, thanks, man.